Predictive UC Analytics reporting. In this video, we will cover how to set up, configure, and run a predictive UC Analytics report in the web interface. To run a report, select the reports icon in the upper left-hand corner. Then go to Configure Reports to configure a new report. Notice that you have a number of report categories to choose from, including most recently run reports, business analytics, call activity, these are our standard call accounting, custom reports that may or may not be applicable, directory listing, expense management, and system. For the purposes of this report, we will be looking at business analytics. Notice that under each category you have a number of reports themselves to run. In this demonstration, we will be looking at Grouped Activity Overview. Report Properties. In Report Properties, notice that you are given the option to name the report. If you are running an ad hoc report, or a report that you are not going to save, you do not need to name it. However, for the purposes of this demonstration, I will be running a stored report and will thus need to give the report a name. When naming a report, it is important to keep in mind that you need to create a name that best reflects the data being represented in the report. Notice that you are given the ability to assign this report to other users. Next, let's look at the date selection. You are given a number of options here, including today, yesterday, week to date, month to date, and past and custom. When doing past, you are given the ability to choose a number of days, weeks, or months. Notice that you can also include today. When selecting a custom date selection, you can select whatever date range you need. For the purposes of this report, we'll be running week to date. Notice that you are also given an option of time selection. Now, look at the frequency of the report. As it is now, the report is set to run now without saving, or an ad hoc report. However, we will be saving this report as a stored report. Notice that you are also given the option to schedule the report. Report distribution. Notice that you are given the option to choose the format of the report. You are given PDF, Excel formats, CSV, text, HTML, and a number of others. Notice that you can also select the user to which this report is archived to. This means if you run the report, this user will see this report in their archive or completed reports. Notice that you can also select the delivery type. For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll be using archive only. However, you are also given file breakout, Dropbox, email and email breakout, FTP and FTP breakout. Report options. This is where you are able to build and customize the report to show whatever you need it to. Notice your first option is additional heading. This can help give additional information to the report. Next, notice that you are given the ability to select the value for each column by selecting the down arrow on the side. You can choose from a list of options that are pulled from the database. For the purposes of this report, we'll be keeping the defaults. However, these can also be selected to new custom fields that you add in the CDR layout. Next, notice that you have a number of extra multimedia options. Next, notice the group level. These options allow you to select how the report will be broken out. Notice that you are given a number of options to choose from here as well. We'll be using the default options in this report example. Notice that it will be breaking out by company, division, and department. Notice that group level 4 is set to none. This means that it will not be broken out beyond the first 3 group levels. Next, notice that you are given a number of chart options. Here you can choose to include or exclude the chart and totals by simply selecting true or false. Notice that you're also given the ability to choose the y-axis, as well as the pie chart groups, summary information as well. Next, notice the top groups table 1. Here you can select session count, which is what we'll be using for the most active users report. In this case, we'll be looking at the top 10 most active users. Notice that these options are changeable. We could also select top 100 or top 1000 or any other number that we needed to see. Also notice that we are given the ability to group by in the table as well. In this case, we'll be using the defaults. However, you are given a list to choose from. Next, notice that you are given a number of other table options. These are all set to none by default and thus will not show up in the report. However, you are given the ability to choose more options. Report filters. This is where you can select the data set for which you wish to run the report. For a more in-depth look at filters, view our filters video. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll be using a very basic filter set. To set up filters, simply go to Add Filter Type in the bottom right-hand corner and select from the options. Notice that you are given a number of options to choose from, including organizational units, session-specific options, and even media type. Once you select your filter, you are given a number of options to choose from as well, including is or is not, for which you can use to exclude certain options, equals, less than equal to, greater than equal to, between, like, and in. Notice that you are also given a text box to type in the specific value that you wish to add. If you're not quite sure or you want to choose from a list, you can select our options button over here from the side and choose from the list. Notice that you can also narrow down your options here as well by using this filter to search with starts with, contains, or ends with. To select the filter, simply click the box. Notice that you can also exclude from the selected items or combine the selected items. When you have chosen your filters, select OK. If you wish to add another filter, simply go down and select from Add Filter Type. Notice that in this filter set, I have said where company is Telemate and division is not Atlanta. If you have chosen a filter that you do not wish to run, you can exit out of it by selecting Delete Filter. Now that we have our report configured, let's save it. Scroll back up to the top, and in the upper right-hand corner, select Save. Now that we have saved the stored report, you can go to Stored Reports to view it, or run it. Notice that in Stored Reports you are given a list of stored reports that you have. If you wish to make changes to the report, you can select the name. Notice that you are also given the ability to copy the report, or run it outright. Let's go ahead and run the report. When you select Run, it takes you to the Pending Reports section. Notice that you are given a list of reports that are currently being processed. These are reports that are running right now, but have not yet completed. Once the report completes, it will disappear from this list, and you can view it in Completed Reports. Now that the report has completed, you are given a list of reports that you have run. Notice that you are also given the date that it's queued on, completed on, the duration that it took to run the report, and the size limit of the report. To view the report, simply select the name. Now that we have ran the report, notice that it is broken out by company, division, and department. Here we see the chart and pie chart that we decided to include in this, along with the summary and total information of the users. Notice that these are the columns that we selected by default to show in this report. Now that we have set up and run a stored report, let's go back and schedule this report to run on a weekly basis. To do this, go back to Stored Reports. Make a copy of the report that we've already stored. Notice that this will take you back to the configuration settings of the reports. Here, you may need to name the report again. Now, to schedule this report, let's change the frequency. Select Schedule. Notice that we are now giving some scheduling options. We can select to run once every number of days, starting at a specific date and time. Since we want this report to run weekly, we will set it to run once a week, starting on Friday. To save the report, go to the upper right-hand corner and select Save. To view this scheduled report, go back to Stored Reports. Notice that now we have the most active users and the weekly most active users. Notice here that also under Scheduling, it says runs every Friday at 4 a.m.